Hi, this is John Landis from TriMech with some productivity tips for working in the left pane of SolidWorks, primarily in the Feature Manager tree. As our design progresses, components and assemblies in the left pane can get quite long and difficult to manage. Well, our first tip allows you to quickly and easily shrink the tree to make it more manageable. You simply click in any of the white space in the left pane and select Collapse Items, and the tree collapses to the component level. If you're a keyboard person, you can press Shift-C and it will do the same thing. The tree behaves like this because the default system setting is to allow the tree to scroll to the item that is selected in the graphics area. This is quite helpful, but it can impair performance in large assemblies. We can turn that off through our system options under the Feature Manager, and we tell it not to scroll the selected item into the view. And now, when we pick an item in the graphics area, it does not expand the tree. If I want to see the item in the tree, I can select it and simply right-click and go to that component in the tree, and there it is highlighted for me. Another useful tool is the filter at the top of the feature tree. Just start typing some text, and you'll see the graphics view as well as the tree view get smaller based off of the text string that you have typed. This is super helpful for identifying particular components, working with sketches, or even identifying specific reference geometry. Also, we can affect the graphics view filter. If we don't want those items to disappear, we can change that as well and simply filter the tree. Next tip is about configurations. We usually access configurations through the third tab from the left, and it's easy to double-click on a configuration to activate it. We can go back to our tree and see the components that are suppressed, and go back to the configuration manager and again observe these components that are getting suppressed and unsuppressed, which is kind of a pain to keep going back and forth. But luckily, we can split the left pane of SolidWorks. Pull your cursor up to the top, click and drag and pull down, and voila, now we have two left panes. And if we double click on a component in the upper left pane in the configuration tree, we can clearly see which components are suppressed in real time in the bottom section in the Feature Manager tree. When you're done using that, just grab the bar again and drag it up to the top, and you're back to a single Feature Manager tree. Isn't that cool? Finally, we have control over what's displayed in the tree next to each item, next to each node. And typically we see the name of the configuration as well as the display state. It can make our tree a little busy sometimes, but if we right-click at the top of the tree and we go to Tree Display, we have an option here where we can affect what appears in the tree next to each component. It is required that we have some sort of primary item in the tree, the name of the component. But if I don't want to see the display state name, I can deselect this and hit Apply, and notice now that that tree display cleans up nicely if I don't care about the display states. And furthermore, I could just say, just show me the name of the components by turning off the display of the configuration name. We also have an option here to not show the configuration or display state name automatically if only one of those display states or configurations exists. I think that's a great technique for cleaning up our Feature Manager tree to make it easier to read and understand. I hope you enjoyed these productivity tips and you all got something from it that was useful. Thank you.